most of the women on ESPN that's like has a major voice or used to. Um,
Yeah, Jamel Hill used to do it.
Jamel Hill.
Well, she didn't do
other
it
lady,
in the
the
beginning,
white
but
lady used to do it.
Jamel,
A couple
Stay
other.
Still.
Yeah, so and you see, they kind of got rid of some of them because of their outspokenness, but that was against, you know.
That was against like the powers that be.
Right. I was gonna say that was against the powers, but I think people forget.
Are those of the speakers?
She's Malik Angela, and they're doing that on their own. They got people that are writing that stuff for them. They got producers and stuff for them. So, you know what I mean?
On the Keep 1 Million show,
It's
Aaron
not,
Rodgers
to me, it's not
has talked
just
about
Malik
coming
and
back.
No.
it's
It's
a
not.
whole bunch of
Possible
people
for him to
behind
be on the field.
her,
We'll talk about that.
ESPN
as
as
well
a whole, all that.
NFL
Because a lot of people
scores
don't left
and the playoff picture.
ESPN and
Also
really
gonna
haven't
get
said the
into
reason
college
why.
football playoffs
You know what I mean?
is
Or
coming
what
up,
they couldn't say or
and
what they
the
couldn't
championship
do and
games
stuff
are
like
gonna be
that.
wild.
Who
We're gonna
they
talk
couldn't
about
talk about.
and pick our teams. We're also going to
So,
get into the NBA.
we're talking about
and
all that.
Is the in-season tournament a good thing? We're going to talk about that. We're also going to get into Deion Sanders becoming Sports Illustrated Sports Person of the Year. Is he deserving? We're going to talk about all that and a lot more from the past week of the sports world and beyond right here on the Keep 1 Million Show.
We do this like that.
All right. Yeah, that's fine.
Cannot play that.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll probably get into both of those in the beginning.
But Malik,
That whole situation, Von Miller's situation as well.
the legal stuff. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, it's kind of one of the biggest topics, but you know. only.
What?
So a can of like was it a tiki rum?
Oh no, I'm good.
Like a mixed drink. I'm gonna switch it in a minute.
Yeah.
One of the longs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn on the minute.
We've been waiting for a long time. Yes, we've been waiting for a long time. We've been waiting for a long time. But we ain't gonna wait no more. We're getting ready to rock and roll. We're gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Well, there's a reason and a
Let's keep it 1 million show. I'm Dwayne.
Sean P.
And we're back from the Thanksgiving holidays.
Yes, sir.
It is Thursday, the 30th of November.
Yes, sir.
And it's a lot to talk about, lots going on
Mhm.
right here on KRDP 90.7 FM. How are you doing today?
I'm
Tonight,
doing good.
this evening.
Doing well. Ramping up for Christmas.
Yeah. The holidays is
Yeah.
right here. Mariah Carey's in full swing.
Oh yeah.
You
You know, I always said it wasn't Christmas to me unless I heard Donny Hathaway this Christmas. You know, but now it's Mariah Carey.
now it's Mariah Carey.
Yeah, now it's Mariah Carey. Yeah.
So we just got past Thanksgiving games,
Yeah.
all of the festivities, college football, the NFL, everything is getting right in the full swing. But the past few days, this past week, a lot of legal issues has been going on.
Yeah,
As
unfortunately.
of right now, we have
Yeah.
Von Miller of the Buffalo Bills. He had turned himself in to DeSoto Regional Jail, that's in Dallas, Texas. Posted a $5,000 bond for allegedly domestic violence against his pregnant girlfriend. Reports are showing after David is he had an argument ensued and words were exchanged and he put his hands on her. His longtime girlfriend, she's 6 weeks pregnant. This was back in 2021, but no charges were filed. But now they've been filed in Dallas, and
I wonder why she waited
a
so
lot
long.
of right. Yeah, I'm not sure why, or maybe they picked it up in Dallas, or somewhat how sometimes it takes a while. Prosecutors can pick up a case when it comes to allegations or whatnot. Maybe she hit him with a lawsuit, but there's a whole lot of issues behind that as well. If you on the social medias, if you're on Elon Musk's Twitter, if you're on any sites like Media Takeout, whatnot, what's going on with Von Miller, his girlfriend, and some other athletes. There's been some issues going on with I guess cheating allegations and all this stuff. So it's a whole lot going on in his world, and none of it's good. We're seeing a lot of players being waived in the past week for way different reasons. So I think after this investigation, he's been booked, he's been bonded out. Most likely it's a court date in the next couple months.
Yeah.
He most likely will be released. What are your thoughts on the whole situation, Sean?
There's no reason to put your hands on a woman. We don't know exactly what went on. Like you said, this was back in 2021. It's being reported right now, so we don't know exactly what's going on. But I will say that there is no reason to put your hands on a woman. I know there's a lot of things that some people could justify. Oh, she spit on me. She hit me with something. But you have to remember that Von Miller is a big man. So I'm going to go out on a limb to say that this woman is not as big and as strong as he is. So he could deflect things. I mean, he could like grab her hands, hold her hands. But even with that, he could have leave a bruise. We don't know. It could have been something like that where he was just holding her from hitting him or something like that, and then she felt like it was too rough or whatever. We just don't know. So I just would like to wait for everything to come out, then make a decision on it. But I will say again, there's no reason to ever put your hands on a woman. As a man. I mean, we have.
Okay. Hold on a second. I do have more information.
Okay.
So the 2021 information is wrong. He was investigated in 2021 in Colorado, but no charges were
Okay.
filed.
Okay.
This was earlier this year. They had an argument over travel plans. Got into a argument. He pushed her, shoved her. She said, "Stop it, I'm pregnant," and grabbed her neck. Through his laptop, and yeah, it's a lot. This is coming from ESPN.com. So, it's a whole lot going on. Like I said, he was bailed out. He bailed himself out, and doesn't tell me about the next court date.
Okay. So they're saying that he pushed her, and then he grabbed her by her neck.
Yes.
All right. That's excessive, or over some arguing over some travel stuff.
Yeah.
That's
No, it just says domestic violence. It doesn't say anything more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or arguing over travel plans. So yeah, that's a bad issue. That, like I said, from what's being talked about in the blogosphere, is a lot more things going on behind closed doors, with this woman that he's with being with other athletes and things of that nature. She's an Instagram model, so you already know when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? So there's pictures out there, photos of this woman. You can look on Black Sports Online. Shout out to Robert Littell. He's been on this show a few times. So
dating some of these Instagram models is almost equivalent to dating a stripper, man. So
Let's just say this: she's been linked to Bol Bol, the NBA player,
okay.
the Phoenix Suns.
Son of Manute Bol.
Right. I'm not sure if that was the same time as Von Miller, but there's some, discrepancies there. And like I said, there's a lot of issues going on behind closed doors, and for him to do what he did is extremely wrong, and he should have just left. If it gets to that point, just
take a walk. Just take a walk, man. Cool off.
just leave.
Just leave.
If it's that bad,
It's that
you may
bad.
want to have to,
I was always told if you gotta put your hands up,
pay the child support.
if you gotta put your hands on a woman, you don't need to be with her, man.
Right.
Just
Now,
roll out. What else we
there
got?
may be something that's even more egregious, which there's a back and forth about because of the narrative that's being put out there. Now, Josh Giddey
Oklahoma City Thunder star. You know, they got a real nice young core from all those draft picks and those trades, the moves they made. Josh Giddey, an Australian player that came over here, and he's a really good player. But in LA, he I guess in this off season he lives in California. You know, he's a young man in his 20s, but he's been linked to underage girls, dating and, you know, having other contact with underage girls in California. Legal consent is 18. And these girls have been said they're under 18. There's been floods of TikToks with him together with one of the women, young ladies, explicit TikToks to say the least. And the NBA is now investigating it. Here's the issue when it comes to a narrative. Now, it took, I think for me, to me, it took the social media people to actually get ESPN to talk about it. Because and people are kind of framing this very oddly, very kind of reverse. So these allegations pop up. People are saying, well, hey, why isn't he suspended? What's going on? Why is he still playing games? And then they're saying, why hasn't Malika Andrews, who is ESPN's NBA host of NBA Today, why hasn't Malika Andrews talked about it? Because she always talks about African American basketball players and sports players in general in a negative light, especially when something happens to them, you know, outside of the field or outside of the court. Josh Giddey, like I said, is from Australia, and he's not getting that level of scrutiny. What do you think is going on, Sean?
All right, well, I'm going to read something real quick. The age of consent, the legal age of consent in Australia for consensual sex varies between 16 and 18. However, you're in America, Jack, you got to follow these laws.
Well, and here's the other thing. He plays for Oklahoma City. I think people actually thought that he was dating girls in Oklahoma City. The age of consent in Oklahoma is 16.
Okay.
The age of consent in California is 18. I think the age of consent in West Virginia is like 15 or 16. Something crazy. States vary. And it shouldn't vary.
It shouldn't, but it does.
But when it takes, let's say, a week for a sports giant like ESPN to cover a situation like this, yeah, red flags are going to rise. Now, we're going to go to break. We're going to come right back. We're going to keep talking about this Josh Giddey situation. And we're going to get into Aaron Rodgers. Is Aaron Rodgers coming back after only 3 months of an Achilles injury? We're going to talk more on the other side. It's the Keep Winning Show.
Yes, sir.
Okay, to have one more drink before I drive home. Probably okay. I open the window to stay alert. Probably okay. I just popped some gum in my mouth.
Step out of the car, please.
I probably made a mistake.
Probably okay isn't okay when it comes to drinking and driving. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain.
Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy. Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
And we're back to Keep Winning Million Show. I'm Dwayne.
Sean P.
And we're getting into this whole Josh Giddey situation here. Now, this was like last week and a half ago, these allegations have come out. And I think it's even longer on TikTok because these girls, friends of the female that, you know, allegedly was with Josh Giddey, was posting TikToks of them at a club and posting other TikToks, you know, and this caught, you know, because of Draymond Green getting suspended, the Ja Morant situation, other situations going on. Like, wait a minute, hold on, Josh Giddey, there's something going on over there with him. Why is no one talking about it? And it took literally a week and a half for ESPN to pick it up. And if you're an ESPN fan, an ESPN watcher, an NBA fan, you know who Malika Andrews is, and you know the scrutiny she gets when it comes to when black athletes are in trouble, and now you have a white athlete that's in trouble, and the disparages of that. Josh Giddey doesn't get, for some reason, the same scrutiny as, say, a Ja Morant or any other athlete.
Yeah.
I seen on the radio they was talking about a story where somebody had looked up from 2015 all these articles and stories about athletes, you know, in trouble. Now they said it was more white athletes that were in trouble, but the black athletes were getting way harsher treatment. And we see it. I mean, it's obvious. You know, there's specials when it comes to domestic violence. Remember, wasn't Tyreek Hill, Joe Mixon situation and
Oklahoma.
Right, and
yeah, he was wrong for that.
I mean, saying it was a whole lot of different situations going on. I can't think of them right off the top of my head, but remember the Dana White situation.
Yeah.
Stephen A. and Molly Karen was damn near choked up to talk about it. I mean, you could see them visibly upset to talk about Dana White in that light when video evidence shows you what he did in Mexico. Now, when Malika Andrews had to talk about Josh Giddey, if you see the reaction on her face, she looks like she's visibly upset talking about it. Now, what did you think about this situation? Because there's a whole, you know, social media debate about who is right, who is wrong when it comes to how they portray athletes and how it's being disseminated.
All right. Well, first off, Josh Giddey needs to be careful. He's an NBA player. I'm not saying that he needs to check for ID because when I was younger out there single, I never was checking for ID. I'm not gonna put that on somebody. You need to look at her driver's license and all that. Not doing all that. Nobody's doing all that, but you still have to be very careful. Surround yourself with people that can look out for you, because these things do and will continue to happen. These young girls are developing out earlier. They look older. So my goddaughter, for God's sakes, when she was 16, she looked like she was a 21, 22-year-old woman. Like she was built like that. You was just like, wow. You know, it is what it is. Now, what I will say about Malika Andrews, about the way she reports, there are a lot of players that have a problem with her. You know, and Stephen A. Smith spoke about this on his podcast. I watched it, and Des Bryant tweeted out, was like, yo, you know, you go you go at Brandon Miller during the NBA draft about something he was cleared of, but we don't hear you talking about this Josh Giddey thing. Now Stephen A. retorted back, saying that it's a lot of stuff that we don't know. We knew the stuff with Brandon Miller. We knew he wasn't guilty, but we knew he was involved with something, and the producers were telling her, not telling her to talk about it, but they would say, if you don't talk about this, you don't ask the questions, what are you there for? So that's something that can be talked about later about why do reporters go through that. But Stephen A. was like, he was trying to get Des to understand that these questions need to be asked and that they didn't have enough information on the whole Josh Giddey thing. Now, I will say this because we were talking off air. You said that Des replied back. He said he would get to come on Stephen A.'s podcast and have a conversation about it, which I would love to see them do.
I would love that.
I would love to see them do.
Because there's parts of stories both sides don't understand and know. What Des Bryant saying looks like it's being cut off and being, not talked about because there's other reporters going at Des Bryant. Malik Andrews has not. I don't know if she has a Twitter or I haven't seen any of her posts. But with Stephen A. coming at him and having that, I think it does need to be a discussion because this is the same thing that happened with Kwame Brown. Remember how Stephen A. and them were coming at Stephen A. himself was coming at him, and he went in on his channel and went back at Stephen A. and talked about how not just ESPN but the reporters frame players and whatnot and all of this. And there's some reporters that stood by Kwame Brown.
Yeah, they
was
are.
agreeing with Kwame Brown because it's a fact, and these are former players that are in the
Jalen Rose
right.
had his back. A few reporters.
Right.
I believe Chris Broussard and Rob Parker had his back. They had his back to a certain extent.
Right.
Because Kwame went at them, but really Chris Broussard and Rob Parker didn't say anything bad about Kwame. They just were saying, yeah, you got a point here, but on this side they got points here. That's what they were doing.
And I think that discussion needs to be had. Maybe needs to be discussed with Millie Andrews herself. But the thing is, when no matter who it is, you would think reporters would equally bring praise and equally bring criticism on and off the field. But it has to be looked at as something that's behind them as well, because the producers, the executives and whatnot, when they get a story, or especially something like Von Miller being arrested, or Josh Giddey being caught with underage girls, or a player with a drug, caught with drugs or whatever. It's the producers behind the reporters that frame the story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're the ones that frame the story. There's a writer who writes a story. Maybe the reporter writes a story of their own. But then they have their bosses check over it. Hey, do you want this in there? Do you want that in there?
Yeah.
And then the story goes out. And that does take a week, maybe even longer, so they can get it all right so they don't get sued. They don't get, come out. But at the same time, when it looks like this certain reporter is reporting a certain way and not the same way for others, yeah, that's going to be scrutinized.
Yeah.
Especially on social media where everyone has an opinion. Every single person the person that don't know anything has an opinion, and the person that knows everything that has an opinion. So there's going to be scrutiny on both sides. I think really that all sides need to come together and discuss this, because when you have John Morant, who is online showing, guns, when you have Kyrie Irving just posting a link about a situation, when you and everyone just turns on them immediately, but then Josh Giddey or someone else, you hear crickets. Yeah, that's alarming, and it's loud and clear, especially on social media. And if you get that criticism, no matter who you are, you have to just take it. You got to take that. Malik Andrews, you got to take that criticism. Stephen A., they all have to take the criticism, because you're insulting our intelligence at this point.
Yeah.
So if Des Bryant comes at you, you're going to have to take it. And hey, it drives up your numbers putting Des Bryant on your show, Stephen A.
Come on, you think how many views he's gonna get on his YouTube channel if you bring in Des Bryant wherever he's at, fly him in to New York City,
More like
put him on it, sit right next to you. But he has a whole new studio. It looks like a talk show.
Yeah, he has a whole
So
new
you
studio.
know whatever you tell him, hey, you fly in, I'll get you on the on the hotel or something, right? Sit down and talk to him face to face, 1-on-1, and see how that goes. I bet you get at least 200,000 to 300,000 views.
No, probably, probably more than that.
I'm talking about in that first 24 hours.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But let's move on from that to Aaron Rodgers. Now, Aaron Rodgers, I don't know if he's delusional. I don't know if he's Superman, but he's cleared to practice, and the Jets has him on the 21-day window coming off of IR, which means towards the end of the season, he possibly can play. If he plays, that'll be short of a miracle. No one has ever come back before 6 months from a torn Achilles injury. Now, is this real or is this fool's gold?
I want to say fool's gold because what's the reason for coming back? I mean, they're not going to make the playoffs. What's the reason for possibly re-injuring that Achilles tendon? Why? Like, just chill out, come back next year. Don't even play in the preseason.
And here's the thing that I think people haven't talked about. He can injure the other Achilles.
Yeah,
or injure his ACL.
That's happened
Because
before.
when you work out so hard on one side, you're going to compensate on the other. And that, you know what I mean? That can, especially when look at what happened with Kevin Durant. He basically had 3 injuries in a year and a half span and was out for a whole.
Or better yet, Klay
Klay
Thompson.
Thompson as well, right?
It was his ACL at first, and then when he was rehabbing it, working out,
tore his Achilles.
Tore his Achilles.
Exactly. So that could happen. The main question is, and a lot of people are talking about this, was it really his Achilles? Because I'm not sure if this is even possible for him to come back from the Achilles injury in 3 months.
Yeah.
But at the same time, these Jets fans are so rabid, so delusional, that just putting him out there for 2 snaps, that really makes the Jets fans' season. Now, people talking about, just put him in for a series like a preseason. That's just for the fans. Think about it. 3 plays. Maybe 4 if he gets a completed pass. Do you know how crazy those fans will be? And then he just waves off, goes back, you put in Zach Wilson or somebody else to finish the game. That's like Willis Reed. I'm not comparing it because the Knicks didn't win the championship then. But Willis Reed comes off, his leg is tore up. This ended his career, this injury. He comes back.
He hits the 2 jump shots.
Hits 2 jump shots in the first quarter, leaves, and the Knicks win the championship because of that hype, that crowd going crazy for Willis Reed to come on the court.
Yeah, I wasn't born. I was born in '76. I think. Yeah,
I wasn't born.
I wasn't born yet.
I wasn't even
but
thought of.
Everybody always sees it. Willis Reed coming out the thing. Everybody's like, "Oh, Willis Reed coming out."
Think about that. Just think about that. That is literally a Willis Reed moment. If you see Aaron Rodgers, it's freezing cold. He takes off that jacket and comes into the game. I mean, that's NFL films worthy, if you know what I mean.
I still don't think it's worth it, man. I don't think it's worth it.
I don't think it's worth it either.
Because anything can happen.
But let's just say this. Just for the sake of
if you want the fans to be just like, okay, we're gonna do something next year. Aaron Rodgers looking good. He did something no one else can do. As far as coming back from an Achilles injury in less than a year, and he comes back on the field, takes a snap, drops back, and throws the ball. That's all he has to do. That's it. And then just walk off. You can't tell a Jets fan nothing after that. You're not even going. They're gonna be more delusional than Cowboys fans. And Cowboys got a good record. They got a good team.
Yeah, they got a they actually have.
Unfortunately, we have to talk about them because
they playing
Dak
tonight.
Prescott
He's playing
is an MVP candidate.
MVP candidate, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Him, Brock Purdy, a couple of people.
But just think about that. Aaron Rodgers. And you know, if that happens, you know how many celebrities going to be there? Do you know how many those celebrity Jet fans, kind of like the Clippers fans, you know how the celebrity Clipper fans are always there? Kind of like the celebrity Jet fans are there.
Yeah.
Are they going to be on the field? Are they going to be all? I mean, it's made for TV. This is like when you say the NFL is scripted.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is written into the script.
Oh, so it's like Brian's song. It's like Brian's song.
Right. This is written into the script. You know, this is what's the Notre Dame movie?
Rudy.
Yeah. This is Rudy.
Win one for the Gipper.
No, this is Rudy, not one for the Gipper. That's too old. I mean, a little more recently. You know,
Rudy.
Remember the Titans.
Rudy was a good movie. He had the dude from Lord of the Rings.
Right.
In it.
Remember the
Sean
Jets.
Astin.
It'll be Remember the Jets. It's movie worthy. You know, Aaron Rodgers coming in for a series and then going off and hopefully doesn't re-injure himself. But in reality, he shouldn't play.
No.
Seriously, in reality, no, he shouldn't play. But I mean, Jets fans aren't in reality.
Yeah.
Just let you know that Jets fans are not in reality. So. Yeah, this is a feasible thing that can happen. Now, he did say if the medical staff clears him, then he wants to play. If they clear him 100% to play full contact, he's going to be in. He's going to be in. And with that being said, we're going to go to break. We'll come right back. We're going to talk some NFL and some college football. The championship games are set, and talk about the scenarios of the college football playoffs and everything else. And is Deion Sanders worthy of Sports Person of the Year by Sports Illustrated? We're going to come right back. Keep 1 Million Show right here on 90.7 FM KRDP.
Yes, sir. Is he worthy of it? I don't think so. You could have gave that to Coco Golf.
It's a few. It's what is someone say? Djokovic won. I didn't even know he won 3 Grand Slams.
He won what?
This year? Djokovic. He
Oh,
won
the tennis
3.
player?
Yeah, he won 3 Grand Slams out of 4.
Yeah.
Who else? Shit, you could give it to Patrick Mahomes. Who won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Thank you, brothers. Now borrow this one here.
Yeah.
Y'all sound good, man.
Oh, thanks.
I like the banter, man.
Yeah.
What we gotta do is get y'all a board out so y'all can be facing each other.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I'm looking,
Have the video.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm looking for a little volunteer to come through. We gotta train. We got some youth that's gonna get trained.
Okay.
But I'm gonna try to make sure they over 21.
Yeah.
So we can keep them, you know what I'm saying? So we can keep it lit.
Yeah. All
Come
right.
on, man. Y'all sound good.
All right. Thanks.
So sweet.
Keep 1 Million Show. I'm Dwayne.
Sean P.
We're on 90.7 FM KRDP. Talking what's going on in this past week of the sports world and what just came out tonight, Sports Illustrated has named Deion Sanders Sports Person of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Now, his last few games was really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Shador Sanders did not play the last game of the season.
Mm-hmm.
They were 4-8.
Mm-hmm.
3 major commits decommitted
Mm-hmm.
this past week.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole nother story.
Mm-hmm.
And he's still sportsman of the year, sports person, excuse me,
Mm-hmm.
of the year. Does he deserve it?
Nah, it's some other people that are better. I believe Coco Golf, maybe.
Yeah.
You brought up during the break Novak.
I seen that a tweet, you know, where a reporter was saying, well, Novak Djokovic
Yeah,
won 3 Grand Slams,
3 Grand Slams.
but Deion has 4 wins, so 4 is more than 3.
Yeah, you know,
Which is, you know, real backhand.
yeah. I mean, 4 Grand Slams in 1 year. That's a heck of a run, man. That's he almost got that Serena Slam, you know. So I mean, him, Patrick Mahomes,
Yeah,
the Joker out of Denver.
yeah, Patrick Mahomes. Yes, the Joker.
Even if you wanna say somebody that didn't win a championship, Jimmy Butler.
I think you couldn't do the Joker because he doesn't care.
Yeah,
So it's like, what is this? I don't want to be here. I don't. An interview. I mean, he doesn't do those type of interviews.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Maybe
but,
give him a 6-pack of beer. He may do it.
yeah, but you got Jimmy Butler. I know he didn't win the chip, but that run he had that was an amazing run that they had. So you say Jimmy Butler. I can't think of any like non-players like a GM or anything. I can't think of it because sometimes GMs can get it too.
But here's the thing. And what we're talking about, I think this is the reason why Deion is Sports Person of the Year. Because this year, who's popping? Who's popping this whole year?
No,
It was Deion.
Yeah, he was.
It was Deion. So I think they're doing something different as far as it's not necessarily everything you do on the court, it's what you do off the court, it's social media, it's, you know, all the other things. You know, he talked about NIL, the transfer portal, you know, the glasses, the celebrities and all that, and the swag and the hate that came with it. I think that's the reason why, which is not sportsmanlike, but in this day and age, this is what you get. You can give it to Patrick Mahomes, you can give it to Jalen Hurts, you can give it to Novak Djokovic, you give it to Coco Golf, which I think really that would be an excellent one. You can give it to the gymnast. What's her name?
Simone Biles.
Actually,
Sha'Carri Richardson.
Sha'Carri Richardson. Those two, right? Matter of fact, all those 3 women, give it to them together.
Coco, Sha'Carri, and Simone, yeah.
Simone Biles was like...
She dominated the world championship.
She didn't just dominate. She broke her records to the point where she may not be able to catch her own self.
That's how great she is.
Right.
She's playing against herself.
And did even better. And now she's going to be the headliner in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Sha'Carri Richardson's going to be the headliner in the Olympics. Noah Lyles. Right? You could have gave it to him.
Noah Lyles, yeah.
You could have gave it to him.
Yeah. And Coco Golf is going to play in the Olympics, so she
right.
Did, so.
I mean, to give it to Deion is like, it's like giving an influencer a championship.
What do you mean?
It's like because it's not. He's a football coach. Sportsman or sports person of the year should have been someone who actually plays the game, right? who's actually involved in the sport to winning championships.
I believe in the past you've had some owners and GMs win it. Like I can see an owner or a GM winning it.
But that has to be something like so amazing.
Yeah.
Like you did something for humanity. You know what I mean? Like, you know, but
I'm gonna have to look it up.
but no, I mean, I don't understand it. I don't like it, but that's what they did. You know. Now, staying with college football, we have some major games coming up in the championship games. Now, Oregon versus Washington in the Pac-12 championship game. Oklahoma State versus Texas in the Big 12 championship game. Georgia versus Alabama in the SEC championship game. Michigan versus Iowa in the Big 10 championship game. And Louisville versus Florida State in the ACC championship game. Now these games we're going to pick them.
Okay, so
Oregon versus Washington. Oregon is a 10-point favorite and Washington's at home.
So it's
How crazy is
Oregon
that?
and Washington. That is crazy. I'm gonna take Oregon though. I'm gonna take Oregon.
Remember, Washington did beat Oregon, and Oregon's only loss.
Yeah,
I got to take Washington. I've been
You take
riding Washington all season.
they are good. I think Oregon can
I've been
pull it
riding
out.
with Penix all season. I think the Giants should take Penix in the draft.
Take Penix.
Yeah. Yeah.
They just gave old boy that big contract,
He's
man.
done. Wave him. He's over.
But that's a huge
He's
contract. They have to. Don't they have to give up like a pick or something? like,
No. Just eat the money.
Okay.
Okay? I don't care.
Mm.
Get rid of him. And the thing is, the Giants GM has been scouring all the Pac-12 and the Big Ten for a quarterback.
Okay.
So, yeah, I got Washington at home. They're undefeated at home. They got the second longest winning streak behind Georgia. Georgia's at like 21. Texas, Oklahoma. Texas is a 15.5-point favorite. They're at home.
Let me take Texas.
Yeah, that I'm going to take Texas as well.
Isn't that called the Red River Shootout or something?
No, that's Texas. That's Texas, Oklahoma.
Mhm.
This is Oklahoma State.
Oh, it's Oklahoma State, the Cowboys.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
Oklahoma State finally they found a way to get into the championship game.
Mhm.
Texas they're gonna boat race them. Alabama, Georgia. This is that Michigan or Ohio State game was
That was a
one
good
of the
game.
biggest games
That was a
of the
good
year.
game. I watched that game. That was
This
a good
game should be the biggest game of the year, especially playoff content. You know,
And Alabama, they only got the one loss, right?
Alabama's one loss against Texas, mind you. Georgia is a 5.5-point favorite.
Where's it at?
Alabama's at home.
Ooh-wee.
No. Excuse me. Probably these championship games are neutral sites.
Oh, the neutral sites. Okay.
So the SEC championship game is in Atlanta.
Okay, is it the
Texas, the Big 12 game is in Dallas, the Texas Stadium.
Jerry World? Okay.
The Pac-12 championship game is in Vegas, in the Raiders Stadium.
Raiders Stadium. Okay.
Right. And the Big 10 championship game is in Lucasfield, Indianapolis.
Oh, Indianapolis. Okay. All
The
right.
ACC championship game, if I'm not mistaken, is in Miami.
Is that the Orange Bowl?
Yes, in the Orange Bowl.
All right.
Right. So these are all neutral sites.
Mhm.
So Alabama, Georgia, I gotta go with Georgia.
You go with Georgia.
Yeah.
Can't go against the champ. You gotta go with Georgia,
I go
man.
with Georgia as well.
Yeah.
They have the most NFL ready players in the past 3 years, possibly
Yeah. Don't
almost ever. But there's some Alabama and LSU teams that are right with them. So
Yeah.
Michigan, Iowa, like I said, neutral site. Iowa is the home team that, you know what I mean? Oof, Michigan a 22-point favorite.
I'm gonna take Michigan.
Gotta take Michigan.
I was watching that Ohio State game. Ohio State was in that game too,
Yeah.
but just couldn't pull it out. I'm
Yeah.
gonna take Michigan.
And then Florida State, Louisville, which I said is in the Orange Bowl. Florida State's the home team. Florida State's only a 1.5-point favorite. Louisville is a really good team, but I still got Florida State. And that line is mainly because of their starting quarterback is out. They have a backup quarterback in.
Who for Louisville?
For Florida State.
Florida State.
Yes. Florida State.
I don't know. They got their backup in.
Yeah.
This is hard. But hey,
Florida State's undefeated. Louisville is 10-2.
I want to say Florida State, but that backup thing though bothers me.
Yeah.
And Louisville, they're good.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah, pretty good.
I go with Louisville, man.
Going to upset. Ooh.
Yeah, I go with that.
Ooh, see, here's the thing. Any upset in these championship games makes total chaos in the college football playoff. Now,
It's 6 teams, right?
no, it's 4. It's only 4. This is the
four.
last year of the
Okay.
14 playoff. Next year it goes to 12.
12, all right.
Now, if Alabama beats Georgia, they're both 12-1. Nick Saban has said it would be disrespectful to not put both SEC teams in if Alabama wins.
It would
Remember,
be.
Alabama's only loss is to Texas.
Mhm.
Georgia's only loss would be to Alabama.
It would be. It would be. They both be 12-1. They both be 12-1.
Right.
Alabama would have beat Georgia, yes, and Alabama lost to Texas, but it'd be
Right. And the thing is, you pick Louisville over Florida State, which is very interesting because if Louisville beats Florida State, and let's say convincingly, that opens up the Pac-12 way huge because if Oregon beats Washington, and they're both at 12-1, then you can put a Pac-12 team in there because Washington is the 3rd-ranked team, Oregon's the 5th-ranked team. Louisville's a 14th-ranked team. If they beat a number 4 in Florida State convincingly, I say you have to put Oregon in there. I think the Michigan or Iowa State, that can't happen. If Iowa somehow beats Michigan,
And then this
whole thing is just over.
This is the University of Iowa, right?
Yeah, Iowa Buckeyes.
Okay,
Yes.
all right.
Yeah, they're 12-2. They won the Big 12 West. Oh, the Big 10 West. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the main scenarios right now that's in play is Oregon beating Washington, for them to both be 12-1, and if Alabama beats Georgia, for them to both be 12-1. Let's say those two situations happen, and Michigan wins and Florida State wins. That's total chaos because who are you putting in? Are you going to keep Michigan, Florida, Florida State? They stay. If they win convincingly, you have to keep them in.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan's number 2, so they will possibly jump up to number 1. Florida State may jump up to number 3. Let's just say this: out of Oregon, Washington, Georgia, Alabama, who would you put in if there's both 2 upsets there? Or excuse me, because Oregon is the favorite by far. So if Oregon wins and Alabama wins, what do you put in?
It's a good question.
Because I don't think 2 Pac-12 teams you put in.
No.
But would you put it, if you put in 2 2 SEC teams in, and you kick out Florida State. Think about that, an undefeated Florida State team, and you kick them out for 2 one-loss SEC teams.
Mm. Now that you put it that way, it's like you put
Like,
it
that's
that
total
way.
chaos.
But they probably look at strength of schedule and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
oh yeah, strength of schedule, how many ranked teams,
Yeah.
other things of that nature, you know, like I said, the point differential, all of that
Who you
is going to
lost
come into
to.
play. Yeah,
Who
who
you
you lost
lost
to,
to.
and those teams you beat or lost, how big were they? Because like I said, Alabama was only lost to Texas.
And
So what
Texas
what if Alabama beats Georgia, and then what if Texas just, you know, boat races Oklahoma State? Or what if Oklahoma State upsets Texas? How does that look when you have Texas with a 2 losses that beat Alabama?
Mm-hmm.
Like, wow. Yeah. This is going to be chaos if all those things happen.
Yeah.
But we're going to come back with a lot more.
Yes, sir.
Thursday Night Football, 20-14, Cowboys over the Seahawks.
Oh, that's not bad.
It is at halftime. This is on Prime Video. Geno Smith, 11 for 17, 173 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Dak Prescott, 18 for 24, 206, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions.
All right.
Oh, wait a minute. Right at the end, looks like the Seahawks scored.
Oh.
It's 21-20. Yeah, it's 21-20. At the half, DK Metcalf
DK Metcalf, okay.
with a 1-yard touchdown. 4 seconds left in the half. So right at the end of the game. Oh, excuse me, end of the half. 21-20 Seahawks. So you got a good quarterback duel on Thursday Night Football. And with that being said, we're gonna come right back. So keep locked right here. KRDP 90.7 FM.
Yes, sir.
In this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily